I'm about to show you why chasing six figures before you hit 5,000 is the exact reason you're still broke. 3 months ago, I had $340 in savings. Not checking savings. I make $58,000 a year. I've made decent money for 4 years, and I had less in my emergency fund than my monthly car payment. Here's what broke me. My friend Sarah, who makes $41,000 as a teacher, has $7,200 saved. I literally made $68,000 more than her over the past 4 years. She's got 8 months of expenses covered. I had 10 days. The internet told me to max my 401k, invest in index funds, and house hack my way to financial independence. I couldn't do any of it because I couldn't afford the month my transmission died. Every finance guru is explaining how to get from 50,000 saved to 500,000 invested, and I'm stuck trying to figure out how to get from $340 to literally anything that feels like security. Your first $5,000 isn't about compound interest or retirement planning. It's about the specific moment when money stops controlling your nervous system. And here's the part nobody mentions. Getting to 5,000 saved requires completely different skills than getting to 100,000. The tactics that build wealth assume you already have the foundation. They're level 10 advice when you're still on level 1. And using them early doesn't just fail, it convinces you that you're the failure. $4,000 sat in my checking account last Tuesday. By Friday, I had 340. Nothing catastrophic happened. That's the part that terrified me. Remember that $4,000 disappearance? Here's what actually happened to it. In 1989, the median rent was $602. The median salary was $28,906. That's 25% of income to housing. In 2026, median rent is $2,150. Median salary for someone my age is $54,000. That's 48% of income. You're not imagining it. The math doubled against you before you got your first job. But it's not just that housing costs more. It's that irregular expenses became regular. Our parents had car insurance and maybe a phone bill. We've got car insurance, renter's insurance, phone bills, internet that's mandatory for work, streaming services that replaced cable but somehow cost the same, subscription software for basic tasks, and healthcare costs that show up randomly because nothing's actually covered until you hit a deductible you'll never reach. When you combine expenses that grew faster than wages with the shift from predictable costs to surprise bills, you get this. You can budget perfectly and still get blindsided 3 times a month. My car registration renewal, my annual prescription, and my friend's wedding all hit the same week. None of them were emergencies. All of them wiped me out. The average person with my income has $4,500 in savings, according to the Fed. That felt comforting until I did the actual math. The median, the middle person, not the average, inflated by rich people, has $1,200. Half of people making what I make have less than $1,200 saved. The advice assumes you're average. You're probably median. And here's the kicker. Every piece of mainstream financial advice is built for someone who already cleared this hurdle. Invest early because of compound interest requires having money that won't get pulled back out in 3 weeks. Pay yourself first assumes paying yourself doesn't mean your electric bill bounces. Build an emergency fund of 6 months' expenses is an $18,000 goal when you've got 340, and it's so paralyzing that you save nothing. I spent 2 years trying to do everything right. I set up automatic transfers to savings, pulled the money back 4 days later. I started investing $50 a month, cashed it out for a dental bill. I meal prepped to save money, burned out after 3 weeks, and spent $200 on takeout in 4 days. The advice wasn't wrong about what to do. It was wrong about when. Which is exactly why Just Be More Disciplined doesn't just fail. It makes you think you're constitutionally incapable of saving when the real problem is you skipped the foundation. Strategy 1, the untouchable 500. You've been told to build 6 months of expenses. Flip it. Build 6 days first. Do this. Calculate 1 week of absolute survival costs, rent, minimum loan payments, gas, food, then divide by 7 and multiply by 6. For most people, making $35,000 to $75,000, that's $400 to $650. Call it $500. Your brain treats 6 months of expenses as impossible, so it never starts. This works because $500 is uncomfortable but conceivable, and conceivable means you'll actually do it. Most people fail at emergency funds because they set a finish line they can't see. This puts the finish line 4 months away instead of 4 years away. Here's exactly how. Open a high-yield savings account at Marcus Ally or discover a different bank than your checking. 4.0% plus interest. The day after payday, manually transfer $125 if you're paid biweekly, $60 if you're paid weekly. Don't automate it yet. You need to feel it happening. Check the balance every Sunday morning, nowhere else, no other time. When you hit 500, take yourself out for one nice dinner, then never touch it. By tonight, You'll have the account opened and the first transfer scheduled in your phone calendar. Week 1, you'll obsessively check it. Month 2, you'll forget it exists except Sundays. Month 4, $500 sitting there, and when your tire blows out, you're stressed but not spiraling. Month 8, you realize you haven't checked your checking account balance before buying groceries in 6 weeks because the 500 removed the panic. Avoid calling it an emergency fund. That makes every surprise feel like it qualifies. This is your nothing can spiral me money. Tire blowout qualifies. Concert tickets don't. You've been told to pay extra on all your debts simultaneously. Flip it. Suffocate one completely while barely breathing on the others. Do this. List every debt by minimum payment size, not interest rate. Pick the one with the smallest minimum payment, probably $35 to $65 monthly. Add $40 to that payment, nothing to the others. Your brain gets motivation from completion, not optimization. This works because paying an extra $15 on 6 debts feels like nothing's moving. Killing one debt in 8 months instead of 24 creates momentum that carries to the next one. Most people fail at debt repayment because they optimize for math instead of psychology. This optimizes for actually continuing. Here's exactly how. When that $500 untouchable fund hits 500, keep doing the transfer, but now 85 goes to savings, building toward 1,040 goes to your smallest minimum payment debt. The month you kill that debt, redirect its old minimum payment plus that 40 to the next smallest debt. You're not paying more total, you're weaponizing money that was already going out. By tonight, you'll know which debt dies first and exactly what month that happens. Week 1, feels pointless, the balance barely moves. Month 4, you've paid off 160 more than you would have. Month 9, that first debt is gone, and you've got 75 extra monthly that used to service it, and the next debt suddenly looks mortal. Avoid starting with your highest interest debt if it's got a huge balance. You'll pay it for 18 months, see no completion, and quit. Kill the small one fast, even if it costs you 40 in extra interest. That 40 buys you the psychological win that keeps you going. You've been told to track every expense. Flip it. Track only the expenses that surprised you. Do this. For 30 days, every time you spend money and think, oh shit, I forgot about that, or damn, that's more than I expected, text yourself the amount and category. Nothing else. Not your coffee, not your rent, just the spending that caught you off guard. Your brain can't fix patterns it can't see. This works because complete expense tracking takes 19 minutes daily, and you'll quit by day 5. This takes 30 seconds per surprise and actually reveals where your money vanishes. Most people fail at budgeting because they drown in data. This shows you only the leaks. Here's exactly how. Create a contact in your phone called Money Traps. Every surprise expense, text that contact 27 parking or 190 car registration or 45 wedding gift. After 30 days, read the thread. You'll see patterns, probably irregular bills, registration, subscriptions, insurance, social obligations, weddings, birthdays, dinners, and maintenance surprises, oil changes, prescriptions, haircuts. By tonight, contact created, first text sent if anything surprised you today. Week 1, you'll text 3 to 7 times. Month 1, you'll have 20 to 30 texts showing exactly where the budget breaks. Month 2, you'll start a separate savings bucket for irregular bills and fund it with 40 monthly, and suddenly December doesn't destroy you because you've got 240 sitting there for car registration and holiday gifts. Avoid tracking everything. You'll quit. Track only what hurt. These 3 strategies compound. The 500 stops the panic. Killing the first debt frees up monthly money. The trap detector shows you where to redirect it. At month 6, you've got 800 saved, 1 debt gone, and you know exactly which irregular expenses to expect. You're not making more money, you've just stopped hemorrhaging it. This won't happen overnight. 10 to 14 months before this feels normal. That feels like forever. It's not. It's 1 year that's already on your calendar. You'll be 1 year older next January, whether you do this or stay stuck. Might as well be 1 year older with $2,800 in the bank and 2 debts gone. You'll have months where you save nothing. Months where your car eats the $500 and you start over. That's not failure. That's exactly what the $500 exists for. The goal isn't perfection. It's still having the account open in month 13 when most people would have quit by month 3. Success here isn't retiring early or buying a house cash. It's your check engine light coming on and you're annoyed, not nauseous. It's seeing $1,800 saved and realizing you haven't checked your checking account balance in 5 days because you already know it's fine. It's your coworker complaining about an unexpected bill and you just nodding because you've got it covered and don't need to announce it. Remember that $340 I had sitting in savings? I'm at $2,100 now. Not because I got a raise or a side hustle, because I stopped trying to save what was left over and started saving before I could spend it. And because I stopped treating every debt like it was equally urgent. You can keep doing what you're doing and hope it magically gets easier, or you can do this and guarantee it does. Both require discipline. Pick your hard. Don't do all three strategies today. Do one. Open that high yield savings account right now. Not after this video, right now. Pause, open your phone, 15 minutes. The fact that you're still reading means you're already different from the version of you that gave up 2 years ago. That's the person who gets to $5,000. You know that, right?